did you like your breakfast? Yeah? Well, it's your first big holiday breakfast, specifically Christmas. I'm glad you liked it so much. Still trying to wrap your head around it? I understand. I mean, you've been here for, what? About a month now? Exactly a month, right. November 25th. That's when I adopted you, officially. So glad you're happy. Of course I am. I'm extremely happy to have you here. Your father is too. Are you glad that you can say that you have a dad? Well, I'm glad that you can say very happily that you have a dad and a mom. Well, that's understandable. After growing up for so long and finally leaving that place, yeah, you would be elated to finally have a home, family, new life, and a dog. But I understand missing it. All the kids you grew up with. Of course, you can come with me to work anytime. Just as long as you make sure to keep up with your studies, okay? You promise? Well, good. Hmm? You're extremely full. Oh, you think you might get a stomach ache? Oh, sweetie. I told you not to eat those pancakes too fast. Well, I'm glad you liked it, but still, what do I say about eating things too fast? They'll hurt your stomach. Of course, I do have medicine to help if it gets too much. You're tough? Well, honey, I don't doubt it. You'll be able to withstand a lot. I mean, you've already been through a lot. Being alone without a family. But if you think about it, you kind of did have a family in a sense. Back in the orphanage, you had friends, you had older people looking after you. You had me watch over you and everyone else. I know it's a little different, but hey, it was a form of home. Do some kids ever? Sometimes it takes a very long time for a child to become adopted. I'm not sure why, but sometimes it takes a while. Fortunately, nobody has passed the age of 16. The oldest was almost 15. But they found a perfect family, or the perfect family found them. No, it's not like she was difficult to deal with. No, she just was scared. scared to become attached to something or someone that won't want her in the end. Over time, she got used to it. Her adopted parents, they never forced her to meld and mold into their family right away. I think that's what helped a lot. Do I know her? Oh yes, very well. Yeah, she used to stay at the same orphanage you used to. Oh, she did. So much so, in fact, that when she was old enough and got the consent of her parents, she did a lot of study and eventually decided to become very involved with the orphanage that she used to live in. Well, it started out small. She helped take care of the babies, clean a lot, cook a little, make sure the young ones were obedient, they were in line. Well, eventually, when the old caretaker got sick, at that point, she had gotten so used to just being there, helping out and learning all of the tricks of the trade. The old caretaker asked if she was willing to take over. Of course, she said yes, and soon after that, the older caretaker retired and moved away, leaving her to become the new caretaker, to oversee everyone, to be more involved with the children. Does she still work? Of course. Even after she got married, she had explained to her husband that she was adamant on keeping her job. You know, right now, it's the time where women don't always work. That's fine. But she was so connected to the place, the people who both worked there, the little ones who she'd helped. She was adamant on staying. Unfortunately, her husband was understanding, and he even helps every once in a while. He's actually the one who suggested that they adopt a little puppy. Said that the little kids at the orphanage would love to see a cute little fur ball run around. And he suggested that they actually help her train him, the puppy. That way, they can learn about responsibility, as well as having a little fun with a little fluff. Sounds familiar? Well, what if I told you that this woman, well, she's a woman now, fell in love with all the children there, and that she decided to dedicate her life to making sure that any child in that place will find a forever home. She sounds like a good person. I'd hope so. She's been through many hardships, just like the ones in there. So she just wants to help, so that they, the ones who still live there, won't have to worry about anything anymore. But they too can have their own home, place to celebrate their birthdays, holidays, including Christmas. And that they'd be able to grow up and be their own wonderful person. Who is this girl? Yes, it's me. I was like you, abandoned at a very young age. I don't even know who my real parents are, but at the end of the day, I found my forever home. It wasn't perfect, but no family is. There's always going to be fights, disagreements, issues here and there, but as long as we all stick together, remember that we love each other at the end of the day, and everything will be alright. To always talk, communicate, to celebrate the good times together, and to hold each other when things get tough. That's how a real family, a strong family, becomes developed. You're happy to be here? Well, I too am happy that you're here. This is your forever home now. You don't have to worry about anything else. We'll never leave you alone, lead you astray. Your father and I will do all we can to make sure that you are loved, to make sure you know that you're loved, taken care of, and help you out when you need it, regardless of whether you think you do or don't. Well, I'm glad you think that way. Of course you can come back and help me around the area. You'll get to see your friends, help out, maybe study a little with them. But in the end, you'll always have a forever home here with me and your father and our very sweet, sweet little fluff ball. Your stomach feels better? Okay, good. Go to the tree, sweetheart, and wait for me. I'm going to just wash the dishes real quick, dry my hands, and once your father comes back with the relatives, we can start opening presents. Love you too, sweetie. Merry Christmas.